At 6, time for our weekly visit from Bob Manista with the Better Business Bureau. Bob, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And you want it to be a Merry Christmas for everybody, and the way to do that is to plan ahead so that the end of the year isn't a big headache for you, your company, and for the consumer.
Absolutely, and the vendors that are out there.
We're talking about return policies.
Absolutely. We need to kind of take a break here, and we talked about budget a couple of weeks ago and making sure that you have enough money to pay for the holiday. But now that you're heading out to the stores, you need to really watch what the return policies are, and not even necessarily in the stores. If you're shopping online, you need to make sure that you're checking those websites, reviewing the return policies, and know what your obligations are up front.
Let's start with the online, because that went up on Cyber Monday. A lot more people using online to save on gas, and there's big discounts, and they're offering free shipping, which is always very attractive, but there's a give and take when something like that is offered.
Right. Most of the return policies are going to be such that if you have to make a return to the online vendor, you're going to pay the freight, and you're going to most often pay the freight based on their RMA, their return authorization, and you'll have to get an advance okay to make the return, and you may have to use a specific carrier that could cost you as much as going to the store up front. Now, certainly there's nothing wrong with doing business online. Just know what the rules are going to be on the odd chance that you have to make the return.
As you plan where you're going to shop, Bob, I mean, the economy is not good. We already have stores closing here in Oklahoma City, not as much as around the country, but there are stores that are not going to make it through this down economic time. Do you need to take that into consideration, or how do you kind of weigh that? Because you may buy something that you may not be able to return.
Well, keep in mind, on electronic devices, some of the more big-ticket items, you're going to be covered by the manufacturer's warranty if there's a problem. So you've got that going for you. On more incidental purchases, which do add up and can have some significance, you may end up losing on some of those if the store closes overnight. Certainly your reliable vendors are going to do a better job of staying open and weathering the economy, but you can feel free to spread your wealth around as long as you're doing it wisely and making sure that if there is going to be a possibility of a return, that you make it as fast as you can.
We're about out of time. Your number one piece of advice for knowing the return policy before you buy or before you leave the store?
If all else fails, save the receipts.
Okay.
The basis of most return policies is going to hinge on the receipt.
And a lot of times the rules are on the back of the receipt at many
Absolutely.
places. All right, Bob, we appreciate it. I know you'll be here right up until the holidays, but hopefully you'll have a very smooth last week of December because people will take your advice.
We certainly hope so.
All right. We'll be right back. Thank you, Bob.